The Valorant world is chaos right now. We've got a brand new mohawked, smoking, stunning, gigantic walling agent from the cosmos ready to shake up the game. The Valorant Champions Tour is on its way to its next stage, and 100 Thieves just yanked yet another NA CSGO mainstay. Oh yeah, and we've got a LAN coming up. A real LAN in 2021. Alright, we're well on our way to 2 million subs here on this YouTube channel. If you like our videos, if you like theScore's content, make sure to scroll down, hit that subscribe button, and make sure notifications are on so you never miss a video. Okay guys, you've got to have your head on a swivel if you're a Valorant fan right now. There is a lot to cover in this video, whether you're a silver casual like me or a hardcore e-gamer and huge esports fan. So let's get into it. First things first, we've got a brand new agent, Astra. And she's not another brain-dead duelist, like Reyna.
You can tell a person's character by their first action. Check me then, eh?
She's a badass, star-wielding controller who comes complete with smokes, a breach-like stun, and what Hiko likes to call a suck.
I'm sucking short. I sucked short. He's in my suckage.
Suck.
Without pulling them in.
And her ultimate, well, it's a huge fucking wall.
Well divided.
Oh, okay. Oh my god.
This looks sick!
That's unreal.
The way these abilities work is you go into your astral form where everything turns purple and you can place down stars. And then you can activate those stars at any time in the round and make them become a smoke, a stun, or a suck. I would say that Astra falls into a category with Brimstone and Omen, who are the primary smokers in the game, which of course end up becoming some of the most important characters in both your ranked games and in the pro scene, because much like Counter-Strike, you need smokes to take or retake a site effectively. So needless to say, I think we're both going to see a ton of Astra in pro play, and you're really going to want to see your ranked teammates lock her in instead of that ever-present third duelist. For me, this is exactly what I want to see out of new Valorant agents. She's unique, her playstyle is uber customizable, and she plays really well with your team. Plus, you can combo her abilities super well with other agents. I am counting down the days before I get my first suck into a Killjoy ult or a Raze grenade. Here's Hiko on Astra, while eating what sounds like some nuts.
If you have an Astra, only have to worry about B, and she uses all 5 of her stars for B on like split, we'll say. I feel like you'll never be able to go B. You thought the suck was enough, but wait till you get sucked and concussed at the same time. So I think she'll be good. It's going to be situational. You can probably play her as smokes if you really wanted to. I think you lose a lot of her, like what she's good at.
All of the positives aside, there are some key downsides to Astra. Much like Breach, your team really has to work together to make Astra work. I mean, when you're in your astral form, you're literally standing on the map, not moving, meditating. So when you queue into rank and your whole team is either baiting or not using their mic, Astra can feel pretty bad. With that in mind, 10 still thinks she's gonna be broken.
This character is ridiculous. This character is the perfect defending character. I don't care what anybody else says. I take back what I said about 90% pick rate in pro play. This will be 100% pick rate.
Conveniently, the release of Astra segues nicely into the next piece of news to come out of Valorant this week. Ethan leaving Evil Genius's CSGO team to join 100 Thieves' Valorant team to play some more team-focused agents in place of Dicey, who's a Jet one-trick. The move came with one of the funniest self-owns in esports Twitter history. Now, if you've been following Pro Valorant like I have, this move may have come as a complete shock to you. After all, 100 Thieves did win the biggest tournament we've seen so far in the game, First Strike. And the youthful combination of Asuna and Dicey did a lot to mix well with the boomer CSGO players in Steel and Hiko. As for Nitro, well, he's just f***ing cracked, man.
Actually, right side. Do that, nice. Heaven one. Default,
Ding.
Coming in, I'm blind.
Dead. Nice, Nick.
Heaven.
We have.
I mean,
Dink, dink, dink.
let's
go.
Nice.
Hiko actually went pretty deep on the move on stream after the announcement.
Let's talk about the elephant in the room. How about that first? As far as resumes, I don't think there's anybody that is better than Ethan from CS that has switched over yet. Ethan is also 20 years old. People are coming into this saying like, oh my God, they can't believe they picked up another old veteran CS player. Bro, Ethan's literally 20. He's probably on the #2 NA team for a long time. And for some periods of time, they were battling Liquid to be the #1 team for a while. We are looking into and experimenting with only a single duelist lineup.
So like you heard from the man himself, this move is a combination of things. First, they see Ethan as a massive get, someone who could be one of the best players in NA. Second, they want to play some non-jet comps and less duelists in general. And third, this is going to allow Nitro, their best player, to flex more on other agents. Clearly, Hiko and 100 Thieves see the transition from CSGO to Valorant as trivial, given that they have a tournament in 2 days to decide whether they get into Masters or not. After winning First Strike, let's just say there's some pressure on these boys to qualify. Now, I also see this move and Hiko's comments about trying out different compositions as an interesting nugget of information to come out of all of this. So far in North America, pro games have been pretty puggy, all things considered. We've watched a lot of Reynas and Jets take gunfights against each other for 15 rounds. But as far as 100 Thieves is concerned, with this move, the addition of Astra and other agents like her in the future, we could see Valorant transitioning to a more execute-heavy, big brain style like we're used to seeing with all the gods of EU Counter-Strike. Now, with that said, it's not like Ethan can't click on heads.
Yep.
3 killed.
They can't go over the wall.
Yeah.
Oh!
Oh, give him the.
Whoa!
Oh, give him the. Oh, give him the. Oh. Oh.
Now, the last thing I want to touch on when it comes to this Ethan move is what it means for North American Counter-Strike. Because unfortunately, Ethan has now joined the likes of Vanity, Leaf, Automatic, and his teammate Nitro as NA CSGO players who lost the roster spot and then had to leave CSGO. And based on the fact that 100 Thieves announced him 30 minutes after EG announced that he was leaving the roster, he wasn't exactly shopping around looking for other teams, which really reinforces the sad state of affairs that is NA CSGO during the COVID era. You better have a spot on Team Liquid or Evil Geniuses, or you literally have to switch esports. I also think that this is kind of a feels bad for Valorant too. We want to see that new, young, cracked NA talent shine in this game, not it be a place that CSGO players go when they can't find a contract. Now, to move on to a less depressing subject, along with the new Battle Pass, the new agent, the cheap ripoff of the Karambit, Riot Games announced that the second stage of Masters in the Valorant Champions Tour will take place on land in Reykjavik, Iceland. Yeah, you heard that right. A real fucking LAN in 2021. The event will take place May 24th to 30th, right after Riot hosts the League of Legends Mid-Season Invitational in the same place. And this is massive news if you're a Valorant esports head. After a full year, we are finally going to see teams from all over the world compete against each other in a real LAN environment. It's time to figure out who the S-tier region really is in this game. Now, if you're unaware or just incredibly confused, because it is incredibly f***ing confusing, here's where we're at in the Valorant Champions Tour. This weekend is the final closed qualifier for the Challenger Series. These 8 teams will be competing beginning this coming Thursday to finalize North American Masters 1, which will see the winners from the 3 NA Challenger Series events compete to get to the champion stage, which, at least at this point, seems like Worlds. And I think it's safe to say that you can sort of think of Masters as majors. This same circuit will happen 3 times this year. We've got 3 Challenger Series, 3 Masters, all culminating in 1 Valorant Champions. What this latest announcement is telling us, though, is that Masters 2 is not going to be regional. We'll have online qualifiers, all culminating in an international LAN in Iceland, which is music to my esports deprived ears. And there you have it, quite possibly the busiest few weeks in the young history of Pro Valorant. Since you saw me on this show last, if I get running sprayed by the Frenzy or the Stinger one more time, I'm gonna break my keyboard. Riot has stepped in. They've nerfed the Frenzy, they nerfed the Stinger into oblivion, and they've tweaked the rifles enough to get the gameplay to a place that we're mostly happy with. And now we've got one of the most pressure-packed weekends in the esports young life coming up, especially if you're 100 Thieves or TSM. I, for one, am stoked to play some Astra and stoked to see what the lineup of teams will end up being for Masters 1 in North America. I just have one last small ask, Riot Games. Please nerf the fucking Bucky next.
One enemy remaining.
Please ace this 10s, please. This is free YouTube content.
He's at 130 now.
How you do?
My take on Valorant characters is that the best ones are not like CSGO, but their utility isn't overpowered, if that makes sense. Like, for example, you know, Jet mains are Jet mains, whatever, but I think Jet's like a good character because Jet's not, like, she's not straight out of CSGO, right? Like, the thing that makes Valorant agents cool is when they're wholly Valorant-focused designs. I'm an actor. I'm an artist, baby. I'm animated. I bring the personality to the table. To the table!
Okay.